Shalom. This is your brother Debar. Before I start this message, I want to start off by giving all praises, all glory, and all honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, whom rule and teach well. This message is going into the wickedness and the confusion which is Babylon that has continuously led our people astray, that Esau, Edom, has robbed us and has kept us from our heritage. All right. So, with that said, I want to start this message with this video here, and then we'll get into it. Oh, well, there you have it. Now, with that said, I want to get into, I want to bring this scripture up here. Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Oh, Salakia, I'm driving. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Now, I just showed you guys a video that's on TikTok. It was put together by an Edomite. But even that what looks to be an Edomite is bringing up truth against Edom. Showing you that this group of people is so powerful that they decided what time was. That they, in the year 1582, introduced the Gregorian calendar, which is the calendar that we go off of today. And in the making of it, they skipped 10 days because they didn't want to miss out on their Easter. All right? Now, I just showed you this Edomite showing the power that Esau has. And then I want to show you that all of this was prophesied to have happened. Because Esau Edom is the fourth beast mentioned in the book of Daniel. Just to bring up some context here, chapter 7, the book of Daniel, is the vision of the four beasts coming out from the sea. And the fourth beast is who this verse is referencing. Salakim. Verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. That beast the Gregorian calendar and has changed the laws that have made it okay for us to break the commandments, and not just made it okay, but have almost made everybody to accept that you have to agree that this is okay to break the law, that it's okay for a man to do this with another man, because if you don't, you might can lose your job. That's how twisted this man is. He changed the time. The laws. And it goes on to say, and they shall be given unto his hand till a time and times and the dividing of time. So all of this was prophesied to have happened, and for a while we didn't have the name, but now we have the name. See, because his rulership is only temporary. Now, the reason that the Gregorian calendar is so wicked is because the Gregorian calendar changes time. Now, time is very important for us as Israelites because Yahweh commands us to keep certain high feast days. Now, back in the days before the clock was invented and before a calendar was invented, we told time through the new moons. Now, why did we tell time through the new moons? Well, because Yahweh told us to. Genesis 1:14. And Yahweh said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night." Salakia, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. What are those two lights? The moon and the sun. Yahweh made the moon and the sun so that we can divide, so we can tell time between the day and the nighttime. And he literally set it up for us so that we can be given signs such as the full moons, signs such as signs that would tell us a time. So this is very important because in the spirit of Pesach, which we just passed, if you go into verse Salakia, there you go. Convocation. There you go. Starting at verse 14. This day shall be unto you for a memorial, and you shall keep it a feast to Yahweh throughout your generations. You shall. Now, I want to take a quick pause on that word shall, because shall, I'm in construction, and so building code, before you build a house, before you put up a roof, whatever, there are certain building codes that dictate, that are the law of the land, that say, for you to build this roof, you shall have roof trusses or rafters spaced every 16 inches. So when it comes to building codes, those words are shall, or shall, require, or may. Those are very important words because may means that there's some leeway. Like if you see in the building code, it says you may have up, you may space a rafter up to 24. May implies that there's another way of doing things. But when you come across the word shall, it's a mandatory thing. There is no way around it. So I just wanted to pause on that because to me, that word shall speaks out. Continue on. You shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. Now, I'm doing this message here on a phone that doesn't have service because my other phone is always getting phone calls. So I don't have the internet connection, but the ordinance goes into a law. Like it's a mandatory law, man. So we see here that Yahweh is instructing us to keep the Feast of Unleavened Days. We're instructed to keep the Pesach, and we are instructed to keep other certain high festival days. So if we're instructed to keep those days and to celebrate those days and observe those days, how do we tell when to observe them? Well, we tell them through time. We tell them, just like the world knows when to celebrate your birthday or, bullshits, you need time to tell you when to celebrate it. And so when Esau Edom changed time, like it was prophesied in Daniel 7, when he changed the time, he took us from our power, man. Because in the changing of times, he led us astray so that we weren't able to observe those high festive days, man. And the reason that they did that was because they knew that for them to stay in control, we have to be separated from our power. It's like if you're playing a video game, Call of Duty, or or Mario Kart, when you know somebody's really good with a certain character or like with a certain weapon, you try to keep them away from that certain weapon, because you know that once they get that certain weapon or certain character, it's game over. They're going to win. And that's exactly what these Edomites have done. They know that once we are in our position with our power, that we are following his laws, that we are calling upon the right name. They know that when we're in line, we are in rulership. So what they had to do was they had to change everything up. They had to poison our food, tell you pork was good. They had to tell you that the weaker vessel is just as strong as the male. And now they're telling us that today is actually this day, when in all reality, man, their calendar is off by like 10 fucking days, as shown in that video. Now, if you brothers have the time, man, go ahead and do it. Let me see here. I'm gonna see if I can do it here. Now again, I'm driving, but I tried putting together this message, and it just it wasn't going through because people kept calling. So I don't have time to continue sitting in a parking lot. 1582. But check this out, because even though we see things on the internet or wherever, the Bible says to try all things, see if they're true. Now check this out. October 1582. 1, 2, 3, 4, 15. Man, these motherfuckers skipped the whole 10 days. Because they decided that in them making their calendar, they didn't want to miss out on their precious Easter holiday, man. That's how fucked up these people are. They literally have changed times to keep us from our power, because they didn't have, like, when you really think about it, they only changed the times to keep us from our power because they didn't have no power. They have false gods. They literally make up their own holidays. They take from certain cultures and they make up shit. They have nothing. They are literally leeches that take from other nations and then hate you while they're stealing from you. So they didn't have nothing. They could have cared less if there was time. They could have cared less about the full moon. They could have cared less about a new month. Why? Because to them it didn't matter. Because they don't have a connection with Yahweh. They don't have a power. So they literally only changed time because they saw us, our people, observing our holidays. They saw us blowing on the trumpet. Salaki, if I'm mispronouncing it, but I believe it's a shofar. So they saw us being in line with our power, and these hating ass fools took that from us, man. They didn't take, in them taking it, they didn't lose anything, man. But we did. Now check this out. This is something else that they took, and I've got one more thing to show after this, and then I'm gonna end up closing out. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 4. And this is one of the books that they took out of our book. Now, when I say they, I mean Esau Edom. The Roman Catholic Church took an Israelite book that was never meant for them, took out 14 books because the Roman Catholic decided for the Israelites that this isn't canonical or holy, so we got to take it out. I mean, can you imagine that? The craziness of that. It's like a Edomite telling a Mexican how to make tacos when Mexicans invented it. And then, it's just completely crazy, man. But this is one of the books that they took out, man. So let's start it off at verse 6. This is Yahweh, made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. 7. From the moon is the sign of feast. Why? Because we observe feast in the new moon. Okay? We observe feasts at certain times of the month. And these people have changed the time to keep us from observing them. Continuing on, a light that decreases in her perfection. Verse 8, the month is called after her name. Whose name? The moon's name. Why? Because we get the word month from the root word of moon, which is mun. The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. Going back to Genesis 1 and 14, shining, so that we could discern, as Yahweh instructed for us to discern the times, the seasons, so we can observe our holidays. And the point here is that in this land of Babylon, which the root word is confusion, Salakia, the definition is confusion, we have literally been kept from our power. But now we have the name. Now we have Israelites waking up, and and the wickedness and the nakedness of Esau is being laid bare for everyone to see. Easter is not coming up. The whole thing of Easter is a lie, man. We are literally 10 days behind as far as we know it right now, based off of their own invention of the Gregorian calendar, man. So, with that being said, I want to end this message because I don't want it to be too long. I'm going to do another message on the foolishness of Easter. But before I do that one, I have to show through the scriptures that this man has changed time, because he understands that we have to observe certain holidays, certain times of the year, and in order for him to stay in his rulership, in his mind, he needs to keep us from our power. So with that, I say, Shalom. Shalom.